So, ladies and gentlemen, there's been many head-scratching decisions by Montreal Canadiens management in the 1970s regarding letting players go, trading players, getting rid of players, drafting players. Now, this was a complete head-scratcher. Let's look at a reminder, ladies and gentlemen. In 1970, Montreal had about 6 major league level goaltenders in the pike. You had Kenny Dryden, Philip Muir, Rogie Vachon. You had all different, good players in the minors, different leagues. Why in the name of God would you be drafting another goalie? Well, here's the question. Drafting another goalie is fine, but a number one draft pick, your first pick in a draft? Today we're going to talk about the curious case of Ray Martyniuk. Now, Ray was born in Flin Flon, Manitoba, and came to prominence in Flin Flon as their top goalie for the 69 season. Now, the idea with Flin Flon at the time, there was a lot of recognition of the squad because, that was Bobby Clark came from, some other professionals. Montreal had scouted him very heavily. But ladies and gentlemen, he wasted a 5th pick in round 1. A number 5, ladies and gentlemen, a number 5. He could have drafted all kind of different players besides Ray. And I'm going to give an example what I mean, and please do not get mad. I didn't do this at all. Now, the 1970 draft was heavy, like extremely heavy, of great talent. Okay? Listen to me for a second here. So, they took Ray number 5, and Chuck Lefley was number 6. After that, this is who was available to ladies and gentlemen. Darryl Sittler was available. Chris Adelson, Bobby Stewart, Dan Maloney, Buster Harry, Bill Clement, Fred Barrett, Errol Thompson, Mike Murphy, Daniel Bouchard. He could have took Bouchard. He was having a cure with the London Knights. Bob Kelly with Philadelphia, the big player with. It was just a bastion of good players up and down the pike. But can you imagine going to people and said, "Oh, did you take Darryl Sittler?" No, he took this Bill Flett lookalike from Flin Flon. Anyway, no disrespect to Ray. Ray had every opportunity to make the club. Now, he was called, get this, his nickname was the Can't Miss Kid because he won the Del Wilson Trophy as the league's top goaltender in 69 and 70 in 1970 is when Montreal drafted him. He helped his team to win the President Cup, the league championship in both seasons. Now, that's why they drafted him, but they had no room for him, ladies and gentlemen. Now, at the time, it was the second highest selection of a goaltender in draft history. Now, eventually, he never played the NHL. He spent his career playing for various minor league teams. Now, he had reported to the Canadiens training camp to have the year, but was unable to secure the position in the team while competing against Dryden and Vachon and Philip Muir. Instead, he was sent to the AHL's Montreal Voyageurs, where he played 10 games. From there, he went to Kansas City in the CHL before finishing the season with the Seattle Totems of the Western Hockey League. Now, after trying out for the Canadiens again in 71, he played for the Baltimore Clippers in the AHL and the CHL's Oklahoma City Blazers before the Canadian organization traded his rights to the California Golden Seals, who assigned him to their International Hockey League affiliate in Columbus. In 72, he was drafted by the Calgary Broncos in the 17th round of the WHA draft, but did not sign with the team. Now, after spending part of the 73 season with Columbus, Martyniuk was sent to the Salt Lake Golden Eagles of WHL, where he became an all-star and had a great season. Now, he did receive an offer from the WHA's Chicago Cougars and did sign by the team, but the club folded. Too bad, because he had good players, before Martyniuk could play with the team. So much for the Can't Miss Kid. He missed twice in the WHA. Now, after returning to Salt Lake, he was called up to the NHL by the Seals, but only served as a backup and didn't have any playing time. Now, Martyniuk spent the next few years playing mainly in Salt Lake City, with stints for the Springfield Kings of the AHL, the IHL's Columbus Owls, and the CHL's Tucson Mavericks. Now, in 77, he joined the senior amateur Western International Hockey League Cranbrook Royals, and returning to Cranbrook after Royals lost the Champions Series, he asked the bus driver to stop the bus, and for some reason, Martyniuk just quit right there. or wanted to quit. He threw his goaltending equipment in the Moyle Lake. Now, the following year, he did play 5 games for the IHL's Grand Rapids Owls before eventually retiring from hockey. Now, following his hockey career, Martyniuk lived in Cranbrook and worked for Coca-Cola as a vending machine operator, very well respected, and he was a big fundraiser as well for the Children's Wish Foundation of Canada and the Canadian Cancer Society, and he helped raise more than $500,000 by organizing numerous charity golf tournaments. Now, Martyniuk eventually moved to Panama, where he stayed until he passed away on October 20th, 2013. So at a young age of 63. But like I said, he couldn't find room in Montreal. There was a lot of new goalies in NHL between 68 and 75. It was crowded. You had young players like Favel, Gary Simmons, Gary Edwards, Desjardins, some of the Toronto goalies, Paul Harrison. You had Bernie Perrant, Paul Mathieu was around the mix. From 68 to 75 was a really hard position to break into because you had to show yourself better than the backup or better than the starter. Like, he was not going to make Montreal because he wasn't a francophone goalie and he wasn't a collegiate goalie. He was very hard for a Western Hockey League goalie to make it in the NHL at any rate, because most times they go with the Q goalies for obvious reasons. He can take a big barrage. But to take a number 5 pick, and I keep on thinking, what if Montreal Canadiens would have drafted Darryl Sittler? And that changed hockey history because drafting Ray allowed Toronto to draft Darryl Sittler, and they came out of the wilderness and made it to the quarter and semifinals for pretty much the mid-70s to the late 1970s. So, see, I'm not discounting his, his totals as a player, but it just goes to wonder, because the year previously they drafted Mark Tardif as their number 1 pick. Okay? Next year was Chuck Leffley. And that's the guy you draft, like I said. The Hockey News has also called it probably one of the biggest NHL draft busts of all time. So, take it as you will. And when you're traded to the Seals, your hockey career is either going to be very, very short or very, very bad. And in this case, he was a good goalie in the minors. I have to give him that, because maybe the goalie of Slapshot had a little bit of cousin to the Ray anyway. So ladies and gentlemen, thanks for listening. Have a good evening. Bye.